Like nutrition surveys, which were looked at in the previous video, the Australian Guide to Healthy Eating is a responsibility of the Federal Government of Australia. It works in conjunction with, but should not be confused with, the Dietary Guidelines for Australian Adults. The aim of the Australian Guide to Healthy Eating is to provide a conceptual framework for understanding the relationship between foods, nutrients, and health. It does this ingeniously by visually representing the proportions in which the 5 food groups should be eaten. As this is in a circular shape, a circle, it looks a lot like a plate. The 5 food groups represented on the metaphorical plate are vegetables and beans, fruit, milk, yogurt, cheese and/or alternatives, mostly reduced fat, lean meats and poultry, fish, nuts and seeds, eggs and tofu, and grain, cereal foods, mostly whole grain and/or high cereal fibre varieties. The good part about the Australian Guide to Healthy Eating is that, due to its visual form, it is very clear and easy to understand. That is, irrespective of literacy or otherwise, most people would be able to understand that the foods in the biggest section of the plate should be eaten the most. However, it's not all smooth sailing for the Australian Guide to Healthy Eating. It does have some weaknesses. Firstly, there are undefined serving sizes on the plate, so you could be eating way too much or way too little, even if your diet is proportional in terms of the food groups. Secondly, it's still possible to make poor food choices. For example, one could easily choose white bread over brown bread, or full cream milk over reduced fat milk. And thirdly, there is a lot of subjectivity as to where particular foods belong. For example, where would you place a fruit tart? It has fruit, but it also has grain. Or what about pizza? Pizzas can have vegetables, fruit, dairy, meat, and grains. So it can be pretty tricky to know how much of a particular food group you have consumed in any one day. But in essence, the Australian Guide to Healthy Eating is a great resource. It promotes consumption of a wide range of nutritious foods and water. That takes us nicely to our next video, which is on the Dietary Guidelines for Australian Adults. For advice on how to answer questions directly relating to the Australian Guide to Healthy Eating, try video 39. Bye for now and happy studying.